to go live. Okay, I think I'm live. If you can see me on Instagram, give me a thumbs up. If you can see me on YouTube and Facebook now, give me a thumbs up as well. It's like Facebook is like, Instagram is like giving me all this extra things. Can you guys see me? Like, it's telling me that I paused because I moved my face like to my other screen. Okay. I want to do something fun today. I want to first start by introducing myself. So my name is Aisha Chidole, and I'm an immigration lawyer. I represent clients all over the United States with their immigration matters, so humanitarian-based cases, family immigration, consular processing, waivers, appeals, complex RFEs, NOIDs, that's what we do here. If you'd like to schedule a consultation, definitely give us a call. Our number is 407-995-6567. You can also call 678-325-1037, or you can send a WhatsApp to 404-333-8751. If you don't see it scrolling through the ticker when you're watching this live, you can check the profile. You'll be able to see there. So as I'm sure you guys know, this is the month where the US Citizen test, which is also known as the N400 application, is changing. So after October 20th, it is going to be a longer test. So you're going to have to study 128 questions instead of 100 questions. And during your interview, you're going to be asked 20 questions. And of those 20, you are going to need to get 12 correct. So today, what I want to do is to see how much do my followers know about the US. So I'm going to ask you guys questions as though we are in session. You are being interviewed, and the first person to give the comment gets the question correct. Maybe I'll have a prize or something for whoever gets majority of the answers. We'll see. Okay, so are you guys ready? While you guys are commenting, I wanted to acknowledge someone here. Sunnison says, I'm eternally grateful to you and your team. I don't even know who you are, but he says, I don't thank you enough for all you have done for me and humanity. Whatever it is, I don't know who you are because, obviously this is a code name, but I am so, so happy to hear that we have made an impact in your life. That's why we do what we do. Okay, so let's go. So once I finish it, I'll take you guys' questions. So the first question for you, if you are ready to be a US citizen, is name 3 branches of government. I'll give you guys 60 seconds. Let's see who names it first. So the question is, name 3 branches of government in the US. Put your comment in the box if you know the answer to this. I would hope someone knows the answer to this, out of everybody that's live right now. Oh my gosh, did someone say AI? AI. So nobody knows the 3 branches. The real teacher said ICE, USCIS, and the DMV. No, this is incorrect. There are 3 official branches of the government. Okay, Oyinka Sala got it correct. Yes, the legislative branch, the judiciary branch, and the executive branch. So I will give that point to Oyinka Sala. So she's got 1 point. So she got that question correct. Good job. Good job. Okay. Let me ask you guys another question. Who does a U.S. senator represent? The question again is, who does a U.S. senator represent? Someone said this isn't easy. All right, let's see. Oh, Sunnison got it first. Someone said Sunnison got it first. Okay, I missed her. So Sorry, Kasala, I'm going to give it to Sunnison. So Sunnison got it first. Sunnison got it first. So she got 1 point. 1 point. Okay. Let me see, all the people of the state. I hope you guys are not cheating. You can't go look on Google while I'm asking you this question. So the first persons that I see is I am Grace Green. I am Grace Green, got it correct. So let me just put your name in there. So yes, the U.S. U.S. Senator represents citizens of their state, all the people of their state. So that is correct. I am Grace. Sorry, guys. You guys have really complicated names, so I'm like trying to write it. I should have actually had my assistant join on here so they could be writing down these. Okay, good. All right. So the next question is, let's see which one I can give you guys. Name 2 promises that the new citizens make in the oath of allegiance. Name 2 promises that the new citizens make in the oath of allegiance. Let's see. I see Instagram. Someone says, I don't even know who the one in Nigeria represents. How am I going to know this one? Okay. You guys, stop using Google. All right, let me see if anyone can get this. This is actually a new question. This question is going to be one of the new questions. So name 2 promises that the new citizens make in the oath of allegiance. Okay. One is to be, someone says, one is to be loyal and abiding. To be loyal and abiding to what? And I would count that as one promise. So that doesn't answer it. Okay, this person said loyal to the flag. Not necessarily. The first person with the correct answer is Omarewa. Says obey the laws of the United States, loyalty to the United States, including defending the country if needed. Correct. It's loyalty to the United States. Give up loyalty to other countries, defend the U.S. Constitution, serve in the military if needed, be loyal to the United States. So Omarewa gets a point for that. Omarewa. Good job. Okay, let's see. There are 3, I'm giving you guys a clue here, so let's see if you guys can get this. There are 3 ways that you can become a United States citizen. What are the 3 ways? What are the 3 ways you can become a United States citizen? Let's see who gets this one. I'm going to answer your other questions, guys. So it says, Birchill, not time for a question and answer yet. Okay. All right. So let's see who can answer this question. How can people, there are 3 ways in which you can become a United States citizen. Someone says spousal petition. The answer is wrong. You cannot become a U.S. citizen through a spousal petition. A spousal petition is to file for a green card, right? So there are only 3 ways. Guys, come on. Are you kidding me? Someone said naturalization and birth. Those are 2 ways. You are missing one. Puerta Princesa. You're missing one. So it's being born in the U.S. So by birth, naturalization, and you're missing one more. Let's see. Everybody keeps writing marriage. I'm already telling you marriage is not there, so remove marriage. Someone said the gold card. So you can't become a U.S. citizen with the gold card. The gold card is you're meant to use that to apply for a green card. But let's see. Guys, come on. It's so, yes, Omarewa got it correctly. Through, by birth, through naturalization, and through parents. So basically, there are conditions. So it's called, we call it to derive citizenship. So it's derivative citizenship. You can derive citizenship from your parents, right? But there are certain requirements to derive citizenship from your parents. For instance, if you were born to a US citizen and you're not inside the United States, right? So even though you were not born inside the United States, you derive citizenship by virtue of the fact that you were born to a US citizen, even if it was outside the country. Also, if you are the child of a US citizen, and let's say, your parent was a green card holder, and then they naturalized and became a US citizen before you turned 18, and you already had your green card holder, that's also another way you can derive citizenship. So with citizenship, it depends on the year you were born. The requirements are different depending on the year you were born for derivative citizenship, but that is one of the requirements. So Amarera, you're in the lead right now. Let me make sure I have the name of your spelling after, because I will DM you with a prize or something once I figure out what I'm going to give y'all. Okay. All right. So let's go to the next question. Martin Luther King Jr. is famous for many things. Name one of them. Name one of them. What is Martin Luther King Jr. famous for? This should be a very easy one. Okay, let me look at Facebook, because maybe there's Facebook people. Well, Facebook, y'all are very slow on Facebook. Someone said, "I have a dream." No, that's not one of the answers, but that's funny. Civil rights movement. Irela got that one correct. Irela _ got that one correct. Good job, Irela. Civil rights movement, yes. Fought for the civil rights, worked for equality for Americans, and worked to ensure that people would not be judged by the color of their skin, but the content of their character. Any of those answers would be considered correct. Okay. Number 5. Name one U.S. military conflict after September 11th, 2001 attacks. Name one U.S. military conflict after the September 11th, 2001 attacks. YouTube, are you guys here, or are you guys sleeping? Name one U.S. military conflict after the September 11th, 2001 attacks. This should be very easy. You just need to pick one. Irela, again, for the win. So you got number 5. Yes, it is war in Afghanistan. Good job, Irela. So you're 2 for 2. So you and Omarewa are like toe for toe. All right, guys. Let me give you all an easy one. Wow, the new questions are really hard, actually. Okay. Name 3 national U.S. holidays. 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 This should be very easy. I'm literally throwing you guys a bone. So let's see who can get this one. Amarella, we've moved on from that question. So we need 3. I said 3. If you name one, then it's incorrect. You need to name 3. Okay, someone named Independence Day. Irela named Independence Day, Thanksgiving, and Memorial Day. So Irela has gotten this one correct. You are on fire, girl. Good job. Good job. Someone said thanking. Well, thanking, if you were in an interview, they wouldn't accept thanking as a holiday. So you want to make sure you're giving them the full thing, Thanksgiving. All right. Okay. Let's see what else. Okay, so question number 7. Remember, guys, you have to get 12 of 20 correct if you were taking this test. Nana says she's on fire because of Google. I know, right? Or maybe she knows it. Who knows? Okay, name the U.S. war between the North and the South. Name the U.S. war between the North and the South. Facebook, I see your answers, but you guys got to be faster than that. Like, the guys on Instagram are going really fast. They're going really fast. So name the US war. Yes, I am Grace Green Arnold. Got this one correct. Good job. So that's +1 for you. So now you have 2 points. Okay, so I am underscore. I gotta write your name correct because your name is a little hard. Yes, the Civil War is the name. I am. Oh no, so underscore is after am Grace. You guys and your very difficult names. Why? Okay, good job. All right, number 8. James Madison is famous for many things. Name one of them. Name one of the things that James Madison is famous for. There are a total of 4 things you could name. James Madison is famous for many things. Name one thing he is famous for. Good morning, Susan Williams. Welcome in. If you're just tuning in, today is US citizenship trivia. No, James Madison did not free the slaves. That is incorrect. That is Abraham Lincoln. Okay, I see the answer. I see the answer. Who gave that first? Let's see. So, father of the Constitution, Arella, good job. Good job. Good job. Let me put that in here. +1. So James Madison is famous for being the father of the Constitution, also the 4th president of the United States. He was a president during the War of 1812, and he was also one of the writers of the Federalist Papers. Yeah, Omarella, I see your answer is just that you came in after Arella. So someone says the fact that people are rewriting people's answers and still getting it wrong. That's hilarious. Okay. All right. So let me ask you another question. These are the areas that I would say trip up people the most. So I'm going to ask you some of the questions that trip up people the most. There were 13 original states. Name 5 of the 13 original states. Name 5 of the original 13 states. Name 5 of the original 13 states. I don't know what just happened. Why did this thing just give me a filter? And I don't know how to get this filter out. Let me see if I can get this filter out. I don't know what just happened. What is all this? What is happening? Oh my God. I don't know how do you get out these horrendous filters? I don't know how to get them out. Let's see. I don't know what I press, but these all make me look crazy. All right, let me go back to see who answered first. Okay, I think it's back to normal. Hold on, guys. Let me see what's going on. I think it's back to normal. Let's see who answered first. Okay, so Godono, you only answered 3, so your answer is incorrect. See I don't know what's happening. Like it keeps changing. My filter keeps changing. I don't know what's happening. But let's see. I need 5, so I can accept 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you've got Virginia, you've got New York, you've got Massachusetts, Pennsylvania, Georgia. Okay, so Ginite got this correct first, so I'm going to give that to you, Ginite. I don't know what this crazy filter is, but it's what it is. I don't know how to take it out. Okay. The next question is, who lived in America before the Europeans arrived to the United States? This should be a very easy question. Who lived in America? Arella, no, sorry, you didn't get it first. Yours came after, on my screen, came after the person that I mentioned. Yeah, wait, let me go back and check and just confirm. Wait, let's see. Let me confirm again for the last question. There is Godono. Actually, Amoy got it first. Amoy got it first. Who did I say got it first? Oh yes, Amoy. Amoy got it first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maryland, New Hampshire, Virginia, Delaware, New Jersey. So Amoy actually got that last question first. Sorry about that. Um, okay, so what was the question I just asked? Native Americans, yes. So Didi Santos, no, Didi Santos, you didn't get it first. Let's see, Native Americans. Who's this first? So the first person I see here is Godonu Pat. Godonu Pat got it first. So that's question 10. Godonu underscore Pat. You got that question. So let's see. Okay, what group of people were taken and sold as slaves? What group of people were taken and sold as slaves into the United States? This one should be very easy and quick. What group of people? Africans, yes. Carrie got it first. Carrie underscore. Good job. Yes, Africans, people from Africa. Okay. Good job. So next question is, this is the last question I'm going to ask you guys, because remember, if this was a real test, you're only getting 12 questions. If you get 12 questions and you get it all correct, you pass it. If you miss 9 questions, you already know that you failed the test. Okay. Name one reason why the Americans declared independence from Britain. Name one reason why the Americans declared independence from Britain. Name one reason why the Americans declared independence from Britain. Someone said freedom. Freedom from what? That's the answer is not enough. So someone said tax. Yes, tax is an answer they will accept. So that's Godonu. So that is Godonu underscore Pat. Yes, high taxes, taxation without representation, British Georgia State and Americans housing. They did not have self-government because of the Boston Massacre, because of the Boston Tea Party, Stamp Act, Sugar Act, Intolerable Acts, like all of those things. Those are the reasons. So Godoni got the answer correct. So someone said tariff. Well, I guess technically you could call high taxes a kind of tariff, but for the purposes of U.S. Citizen and immigration, then we're gonna just refer to it as taxes. So let me just tabulate. So the winner of this is, let's see, it's between Arella. So Arella got 1, 2, 3, 4. I am Grace got 2, and Omorewa got 1. And 2. So Arella is the winner. Send me a DM just so that I don't forget your name when I get off the live to tell me that you won this, and I will tell you what prize you're gonna get. You'll probably get like a gift card or something like that. So send me a DM with your email and tell us, comment there that you won the US Citizen question challenge today so that my staff knows who it is. But good job, guys. All right, let me get to some questions. I have time to take some questions real quick. I know people on Facebook and YouTube have been asking questions. So now that we're done with the US Citizen test portion, you can jump right into your questions. Someone is asking, Arella says, I love you. Love you right back. Virgo Warrior says, how many questions do they ask in the citizenship interview? So as of today, depending on when you filed your application, they do ask 10 questions, and of the 10, you need to get 6 correct. As of October 20th, any application submitted after that date, you're going to be asked 20 questions, and you need to get 12 correct. So that's what it is. So it's good to start practicing, because some of the other questions are tricky. I would say that I find that most people have the biggest challenge in the war questions, the questions related to the wars, like so, and also American government, like that's where people, where I've seen like in interviews I go for that people have the most challenge. One of the things I would say to people when you're studying for citizenship, I hate this filter so much, it's distracting me, but one of the things I always say to people is when you are practicing or studying for something like an exam, or in this case, like, the US citizenship test, if you're applying for citizenship, there are going to be questions that by default you already know the answer to. Most people are going to be able to list out 3 holidays. Most people are going to know, what Martin Luther King stood for, or who were the original people here in the United States, or, about slavery and stuff like that. Focus first on the things that are most difficult to you. Because for the rest of them, it's more of a review, because there are going to be things there that are just more difficult to remember, even for people who were born in America, or have lived in this country for years and years. So focus first on that, just so that you're able to answer those ones. They will always throw you guys a bone during your interviews. Like they will give both easy and hard questions. So it's good to know all of them. All right. Someone said, I applied for VAWA in 2022. I haven't gotten any reply. How long is VAWA taking? VAWA cases take about 3 years to 3.5 years right now. So most likely you'll be hearing something very soon, either an approval, a request for evidence, or a decision. So hopefully you hear something in the affirmative or positive. Can a green card holder file for a spouse in removal proceedings? Yes. But they can't adjust. So they can file an I-130 and you can probably do your adjustment in removal. It's going to depend on when you married your spouse, whether you're able to prove the exception that you didn't marry the person because they were in removal. But everything will have to happen in removal proceedings unless you're able to get what we call prosecutorial discretion, which they're not really given a lot of that anymore. But those would be your option. Someone is asking, what is your advice studying for the LSAT? This is a really good question. I always say that standardized tests, everyone can do well on a standardized test. The way you do well on a standardized test score is you need to keep taking the tests. There are only so much variations of the same questions that they're going to ask you. And, I'm giving you guys the same advice that I give to my kids. My daughter's in high school and I have one in middle school. I give them the same advice, when it comes to this kinds of tests. The more you take the test, the more you'll be able to pass. And after you take the test, one day of your study must be to review all your questions, that whether you got it correct or whether you got it wrong, because sometimes you might get a question correct by luck, not because you understand it. So you review, like how I studied for the LSAT, or I would say the most recent standardized test that I studied for was the bar exam. I actually cut off cable. I cut off all social activities for 2 months, and I took it as a full-time job. I've taken more than one bar. I'm licensed in the state of New York, the state of Florida, and the state of Georgia. So I will tell you what I did similarly for both. For New York, I was 25 years old, single. I didn't have any kids, so it was easy for me to do that full time. When I took it in Florida, I took it 10 years later, when I had 2 children, a 4-year-old, a 2-year-old, and a full-time job. So I knew that I didn't have time and I had to really balance my time. So what I did was, because that's a more challenging one, so I'll use that example. What I did was, I cut off these things that I said, and like after I come back from work, and I finished with my kids who were 4 and 2 years old at the time, put them in bed, have a quick chat with my husband. I started studying from 9 to midnight every day, right? I would study from 9 to midnight. And then on Saturdays, I will take a full test. I studied from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. every single weekend. So every Saturday and every Sunday. There was no day, no weekend I took off, because I told myself, this is just 2 months of my life. Just do it and get it over with. And, that's how I studied for it. When I did it in New York, when I was single and I wasn't working and I didn't have children, I would just study from 9 to 5 every single day. New York is a really, really hard bar. Well, so is Florida. I would study from 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. On Saturday, I would study till noon, and then on Sunday, I would have a rest day. So, it is really important that whatever you're doing, whether it's, the LSAT, the bar, like college, school, that you just dedicate your time to learning your craft. It's the same way that I come here, and God knows that immigration rules and laws change every single day, I call myself a lifelong learner, and I know how to balance is very hard, in the business of life. And, my kids are at a very pivotal age where they also need me. But that's why when I come to work, I'm very laser focused on my job, because, I leave work late most days. But when I get home, I am shutting off to be a mother to my children, to my daughters, because they look up to me, and also to be a wife. Yes, I work with my husband, but we're like literally on opposite sides, of the office and doing our own separate work. But one of the things that we do together is we always eat lunch together to stay connected. So yeah, if you're taking the outside, I wish you all the best. I know you're gonna rock it, and then come back and tell us how it is. Okay. So I got my prima facie a year ago. I have a work authorization and advance parole, but not a second prima facie. Is this normal? Yes, it is normal. You're probably going to get your second prima facie soon. Prima facies tend to just come late in the mail. It doesn't mean anything. Like it's probably going to come. Sometimes it's 2 months late. Sometimes it's 3 months late. And just note that after your first 1 year prima facie, you're only going to get prima facies in 6-month increments until they make a decision on your case. Okay. All right, let's see. Let's see what questions I have on YouTube. So my NBGC, but my spouse is incarcerated. I had an interview, but VAWA was pending. I asked to pivot. The officer asked to see my VAWA evidence. I gave him my entire document. I sent an RFE for the medical. Is this good? Honestly, I don't know. It depends. Because your spouse is incarcerated, you can kind of technically have, because there is an exception. Incarceration is an exception of your spouse not being present, where if there is enough evidence of a good faith marriage, they can still make a decision without placing your case in abeyance. So, I don't know your case or what evidence, so I can't tell you for a fact, but it could be good, and I hope it is good for you. Okay. Interview for adjustment of status through marriage next 3 weeks. Should I upload documents, evidence 3 to 5 days before the interview, even if they didn't ask, or just take all I have to the actual interview? Damien, honestly, it's up to you. You can upload them, but I would say also bring them. So there are some times that USCIS, maybe I'll say 1 in 10 marriage-based cases, USCIS will send us an email and say, have your client upload good faith evidence or proof of bona fide marriage before the interview, so we can review it before the interview. So for those clients, I have them upload, but we still take it, just because sometimes, technology, you don't know if you uploaded it well, or you don't know if the officers will get it. So just bring it as a backup, or you can upload it. If they didn't request it, you can also just bring it. It really doesn't matter. You've got nothing to lose as long as you're bringing, that evidence. So that's fine. Okay. All right, let's see here. Is it true that EADs nowadays come without a social security number? Yeah, we're definitely seeing more of that. We're still seeing some stragglers. You just have to, it's not a big deal. Just go to the social security office and get your social security card. That's all. So that's all you got to do. Yeah. Zanila says, can you speak on the new rule on CDLs and car licenses? I can't. I don't know anything about. I don't like follow that if it's not related to getting my clients' green cards or citizenship. So I don't handle anything with driver's license or any of that. So just follow the rule based on your DMV. Okay, let's see what other questions here. Is it safe to travel with a travel document while VAWA is pending? Done with the medical in May, but still nothing. Did you receive an RFE to submit your medical? If you received an RFE to submit your medical, do not travel. But you said your VAWA is pending. So did you receive an RFE for your medical, or you just did medical, just waiting for them? Like, I'm not really sure, but if you've received an RFE, I don't recommend traveling, because you want to make sure that that RFE turns into an approval, basically. Not that you now submit an RFE response and then they deny your case. Okay. Are they working on 2022 applications? If you're asking about VAWA, yeah, we're seeing a lot of 2022 applications coming through right now. My friend has been waiting for VAWA receipt for 5 months. Is this normal? Yes and no. Yes and no. Should the wait be 5 months? Absolutely not. Are we seeing some people's wait being 5 months for a receipt, where we're like, what's going on? We need the receipt. Yes. So I would say that after 3 months, that is a good time to reach out to USCIS to find out where the receipt is. You know, if they've sent it, sometimes they'll tell us they sent it, we're going to send it again, or sometimes they just haven't sent it. I got my green card in August of 2024. I've been living in the United States since 2022. When can I file my citizenship? Crystal, the answer is going to depend on what basis you're filing citizenship on. Did you get your green card through marriage? Are you filing on the basis of marriage, being married to someone? So once you tell me the answer, I can tell you what's best. Is it safe to travel with my advanced parole? If you have any kind of criminal record in any way, whether it was expunged, whether it was dismissed, I don't recommend traveling. If you have received a request for additional evidence or notice of intent to deny, or have attended a USCIS interview, I don't recommend traveling. If you have had, if you have an open removal case, but your removal happened after you received your travel permit, I don't recommend traveling. If none of this apply to you and your case is still pending, most likely you'd be in a safe zone. Okay. How long does it take to get an interview after biometrics or the metrics? Right now, we are really seeing really fast interviews. I'm talking about 3 months. Like, a lot of the cases that we filed this year, they have been interviewed and they've been approved. You know, because, you know, I've had, like, when the clients come in for their prep session, they're like, should we be concerned that, you know, our interviews are happening so soon? Like, is something going to happen? And then, you know, they're approved. You know, people are just, I don't know. I really don't know why people are getting approved so quickly with the marriage-based cases and N400s, but that's great. You know, they are definitely, and these are for cases that were filed this year. Like, the other cases that were filed last year, I would say they're following the normal timeline where it's like 6 to 13 months. But cases being filed this year, like, we're definitely seeing very fast. Someone says, I need to contact you privately. My case is complex. Schedule a consultation. Call us and schedule a consult if you want a private discussion. Okay, guys, I'm going to take one more question. My throat is hurting from talking too much. Okay, so Crystal says, you got your green card in 2024 with marriage. So if you got your green card with marriage in 2024, August 2024, the earliest that you'd be able to put in that application will be 2 years and 9 months from that date. So you can do the math. So that should probably place you somewhere around 2027. So July, August. So somewhere in end of May or June, depending on when in August you got it. That'd be the earliest that you can apply for citizenship. But remember, with citizenship, you're not only looking at the date that you become eligible. You're also looking at, in your case, are you and your spouse still living together in marital union? That's something that is a requirement to apply for early citizenship. Have you paid your taxes? Have you been in the country at least half of the 3 years? Do you owe any child support? Do you have any child, even though there's no legal child support? But do you have any child that's a minor that doesn't live with you, and they're looking to see how are you taking care of that child? And this applies both to men and women. Women, you are not exempt from this. You're not exempt from this, because if you have a child, whether or not your mom or your husband or the father of the child's grandparent or whatever is taking care of that child, you must provide proof of how you are supporting that child as well. Okay. Okay, guys. I gotta jump off. This was fun today. I hope you guys have an amazing day, and I will chat with you guys later. Bye.